A global record that was set on the day of Keely Hodgkinson's birth was just broken. IT had always been there for her. That record was there, waiting for her every day of her life. At the age of 24, she ultimately destroyed it, recovering from an injury that nearly put an end to everything. And you can tell exactly where she went by what she said after she crossed that line. This is going to happen next. But first, you must comprehend Keely Hodgkinson's true origins. Because the world record is a headline, but the true tale starts, it is in a northern gray town. England, with a father who worked as a cab driver and a family that had no business producing an Olympic winner. Remain with me. It strikes in a different way. Greater Manchester's Atherton. That's precisely the point if you've never heard of it. It is not a location that appears in documentaries about sports. It doesn't have top-notch training facilities or an extensive roster of well-known athletes in the past. It's basically a typical Northern English working-class community where everyone get along with their lives and no one anticipates anything remarkable. Keely and her mother grew up there. Sam, Jessica, and Tilly, her younger siblings, and her father, Dean. Her father was a cab driver. That is not an added detail. For empathy, that's the information that clarifies everything that follows. Because when your children begin to exhibit, real athletic skill requires funding for coaching, equipment, travel, entry fees, and other expenses. Tournaments held all throughout the nation that don't take place close to Atherton. Dean was in the car every weekend, traveling, spending hours in the northern England in order for his daughter to participate in sporting events, something the majority of people are unaware of. There was no assurance that it would lead somewhere. There's no assurance that the investment was going to be profitable. Just a father who decided his child was worth every mile after seeing her. Keely enrolls in Lee Harrier's sports program. Club as a little girl. It was a simple local club. However, she outpaces everyone in her near vicinity in speed, not a bit quicker. This is noticeably faster than usual, which is uncomfortable by the time she's 16. She's winning national youth championships. She is competing at the European level by the age of 17. However, this is when the narrative becomes convoluted, because being gifted as a junior and being able to manage the demands of the senior stage are two very different things. Additionally, Keels competes in one of the hardest, most psychologically and physically taxing events, the 800 meters. Events in every sport 0.2 laps, just under 2 minutes, fast enough to feel like a sprint, long enough to demolish you if you're using the wrong strategies. Additionally, the margins are so tiny at the elite level that the distinction between gold and, at the wrong time, silver can be reduced to a single breath. Keely Hodgkinson is going to discover just how cruel those margins may be. Tokyo 2021, the Olympic Games. Keely is 19 years old. She is the youngest lady from Britain to compete in the Olympic 800 meter final for decades. She is not expected to compete for a medal. She is a teenager on the world's largest stage. For the first time, she sets a new British record in the race of her life, finishing in 1 minute and 58 seconds, faster than any British lady. Had participated in this competition for 26 years, and she placed second with a silver medal. The gold goes to the Kenyan Athing Mu. Keely is directly behind her. 19 years old, Olympic silver medal, new British record. The majority of viewers believe that this is the start of something amazing, and they are correct. But Keely just knows that she ran as quickly as she had ever run at that very moment, and it was insufficient for victory. She returns from Tokyo with a silver medal, which sounds fantastic from the outside, but inside the realm of athletics, people begin to ask a question in a low voice that becomes more audible over the ensuing years. Is she able to win the big one? Tokyo silver is one thing, but the 2022 World Championships. Silver once more at the 2023 World Championships. 3 major championship finals. 3 silver medals. The story around Keely Hodgkinson begins to solidify into an unsettling storyline. She is the world's greatest runner, who is unable to prevail when it counts most. It's unfair. That is untrue. However, that's what people are saying. And Keely is aware of what they're saying, but before we get to how she silences all of that permanently, you need to know about the man who trusted in her before any of this happened. Since without him, none of it happens. Joe Galvin was his name. When Keely was a young child, he was the coach of the local Lee Harriers Athletics Club. He began collaborating with her when she was 10 years old. For 7 years, he's a person in her corner, not a well-known coach or someone with a lengthy list of Olympic medalists. Only a man from her neighborhood club in northern England who observed a 10-year-old girl. Something worth having faith in. Keely mentioned that he had a lot of faith in me when I was 10 years old. Him, not on a podium with his club's colors pinned to her uniform while trying to be polite during an interview while crying. Because this is what took place. European Indoor Championships, February 2023.5 days before the race. Joe Galvin passes away. He is 80 years old. Keely is heartbroken. Her whole network of childhood support, the initial individual who revealed 5 days before one of the most important races of her season, she may be outstanding. Nevertheless, she races, wearing a green and white ribbon that symbolizes Lee Harriers' colors. She sobs as she stands on the platform after winning gold. Her mother is waving a Union flag with the words, R.I.P. Joe Galvin legend, handwritten on it. If you haven't witnessed that moment, go look for it. It's one of the most poignant moments in the history of British sports. And it tells you everything about, beneath the records and medals, is Keely Hodgkinson, an Atherton girl who never lost sight of her roots and never forgot those who were the first to believe in her. Paris in 2024, Keely Hodgkinson has won 2 world championships and 2 Olympic silver medals. Silvers, the story of the curse, is ubiquitous. Even non-athletes recognize her as a girl who consistently comes in second. Her time in the Olympic 800-meter final is 1 minute 56.72 seconds. Olympic victor. The curse of the silver medal has been lifted. In 2024, she goes undefeated for the entire year and wins 9 straight 800-meter competitions. Each and every race, she always wins when she lines up. It's not really close to the world's best 800-meter runner. She then announces on social media, "No more races for me." Just after Paris, she has sustained an injury. The season is over for her. All right, everyone believes she recently earned an Olympic medal. She deserves a break. That in a few months, she will return. The fact that a few months isn't nearly enough time to understand what's truly wrong is something that no one is aware of yet. It's a significant hamstring injury. Issue. For 376 days, Keely Hodgkinson does not compete. 376 days, more than a year, the Olympic champion is fully not participating in the sport. Just quiet physiotherapy rooms and a very real possibility. No races, no times, no comeback dates. That the body is never exactly the same after winning gold in Paris. Within her training group, there's something going on that the general people can't see. Keely is rebuilding rather than merely recovering. Fully, she begins referring to herself as Keely 2.0 among others in her immediate vicinity. New exercise, new foundation for strength, a complete rethinking of her body's capabilities. Consider what that truly calls for. You are the winner of the Olympics. After having the most successful year of your career, your body breaks and you have to spend more than a year while doing rehabilitation exercises in a gym and watching other people compete, hoping that the thing that makes you, when you return, special will still be there. Other athletes have endured protracted ailments without ever being the same that I end track and field. It occurs frequently. The speed does not return. The self-assurance does not return. The body heals. However, at the elite level, there is a little variation. Keely Wilson is aware of the difference between winning and placing fourth. She has observed it happen to other athletes her entire career, and she has spent 376 days laying on a physio table, wondering whether this is actually occurring. To her, drop it in the comments right now. After taking such a long break, did you think Keely was getting better, or did you fear the injury had taken too much out of her? Because many individuals felt really foolish after what transpired next, forever questioning her. Laveen, France, February 2026 in the indoor 100-meter race. Keely Hodgkinson lines up for first. Time in more than a year. The sports world is keeping a close eye on her, not to see if she wins, but to see if she resembles herself. Once more, she set a world record by running 1:54-87. Allow me to reiterate that. 1:54.87, a new world record for women's indoor 800 meters. However, this particular feature makes it not only a world record, but also one of the most remarkable events in this sport. On March 3rd, 2002, Slovenian athlete Jolanda Seplek set the previous world record. On the same day, March 3rd, 2002, Keely Hodgkinson was born. The same day exactly before Keely stole her, that world record already existed. First breath. It was there when she was 10 years old and joined Lee Harriers. When she won silver, it was there in Tokyo at the age of 19. It persisted through each silver medal and every doubt about her ability to win the major. Every single day of the 376 days she spent in rehabilitation, she returned and instantly broke an existing world record from the moment of her birth. Returning from 376 days off, a record that had existed throughout her life, 1:5,487. Say that one more time. 1-5-4-8-7. The sporting community paid attention to her first significant race back. It came to a complete stop. Keely travels to Poland for the World Indoor Championships a few weeks later.